Grief hits like an explosion. It explodes inside your chest, it explodes in your head, and the blast just scatters all your thoughts and exposes feelings that you never, ever, ever knew existed. I'm telling you, it shatters every single routine that you have known. Phase 1 of our grief, you don't rebuild. You just don't move on. What you try to do is just find air to breathe. You try to just find that steady hand to hold or a willing ear that you can talk into. You try to find that stout shoulder that you can lean on or even cry if you need to. We survive until the smoke clears, until the debris settles, and you begin to find your bearings. You survive. I survived. You can too. When my wife Leslie died, our daughter Natalie was just 2 years of age. And every single morning I would wake up to a house that was way too quiet and a brain that was way too loud, right? And every morning I'd just get up and tiptoe down the hallway to a room and crack the door and open it up a little bit. And what did I see? But almost every single morning, there she was, standing in her crib, hands holding on to the rail with this huge smile. It was like she knew I needed it. And I tell you what, that kept me upright when everything in my life wanted to collapse. It did. I wasn't all right. But I quickly learned that not being all right was all right. I remember just laying down, face down on the side of the bed where Leslie used to sleep. And I would just be laying there, holding her pillow, trying to grab that scent, that was starting to fade. And I was just laying there, just sobbing. And that moment became Natalie's first memory, her dad being a mess. But you know what? We held on to each other. We survived that explosion together. It's so incredibly intense. It's so emotional. It's grief of impact and survival. And it's also very deceptive because what happens? At first, people swarm like crazy to come help. It's busy. You're moving fast. You think, maybe I've got this. Maybe this isn't so bad after all. And then what happens? Crowd goes home. All of a sudden, you're alone with your thoughts. You're alone with your fears. You're alone with the now what's. What do I do now? Because all of the routine that you had no longer exists. Your sleep habits change, your appetite disappears, your mind is racing. You're not falling apart. You're just reacting to the unthinkable thing that just happened in your life. And neuroscience tells us that your brain is now just searching. It's scanning for the person that you love and that you lost. It's really trying to see where they are. That's why it seeks that text that just won't come. That's why it wants to hear the key rattling through the front door of some person that won't come home anymore. It listens for the voice that comes from down the hall or even anticipates the cup of coffee it's supposed to be bringing to you in the morning. You're not going crazy. You're not broken. So how do you survive this first phase of grief? This is what worked for me. Because the first thing you have to do is it begins by giving yourself permission to be human. Tears, anger, numbness, don't want us, that's normal. And then you need to set up your home and your health to heal. This is huge. Check in with your doctor. Be mindful of the little things. It may seem like little things, but they're really huge things, such as set a time to eat, set times to sleep, set times to go outside, drink lots of water, keep sunlight in your home during the day and dim the lights at night. These things seem small and minor, but man, I tell you, they're huge and they will help you in the process. So please fight the urge to not take care of yourself. Number 3, don't do this alone. We need to find a friend to sit with. We need to find someone whose presence will steady you in the times where your anxiety is too high, who will be there for you, who will listen to you, who will be patient with you. And then 4, you need to learn how to breathe. To inhale 4 seconds through the nostrils, hold for 7 seconds, exhale 8 seconds, repeat that 3 times. Your exhale will tell your body that you're safe enough to breathe. Those first months of grief, I didn't need cliches. None of us do. What I needed was a map and energy, and I had neither one of those. But what I did was survive. And you survive until you find the energy to take the step, one step in front of the other. towards healing. It is a long journey, which is why we don't take this journey alone. So if you're in phase 1 of your grief, there's some of my advice. Your biggest enemy is going to be your thoughts and feelings. I wouldn't trust them too much, which is why we always need that person with us to bounce things off of. Advice number 2, when you get overwhelmed, you need to learn to breathe it out. 4 seconds in, hold for 7 seconds, exhale through the mouth for 8 seconds. Do that 4 times. Advice 3, don't worry that you might be bothering people. Reach out anyway. Don't be thinking that way. If you need someone, text them. If you need to talk, call them. Find the person or the people that you can be genuine with, that you can be raw with, that you can be honest with. Find them quickly. Number 4, consider writing some of your thoughts, some of your feelings, and start being curious about them. And begin telling yourself feelings are not facts, but be present with them. But do not give them power over you. Attempt to breathe them away. Folks, grief is a roller coaster. And phase 1 is tougher. It jolts you up, it slings you down. The curves you don't even see coming. So just hang on, hold on. What you're going through is just normal, so you don't want to do it alone. So keep pushing forward, keep reaching out, be patient with yourself, and get through the explosion. And then we'll piece together a map, and the journey towards healing begins in phase 2. Heads up, shoulders back, eyes up. You're breathing. That's the first win, and there are more wins to follow.